Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the KABA number 20411926D01. This is a strike plate, is what it is. It's a replacement strike for their E Plex 2000, 5000 series strikes. That's just a peel-away protective film that you see on there. Stainless steel. They call it satin chrome. Not magnetic at all. Marginally magnetic, which tells me it's stainless steel. Stainless does pick up some magnetic properties when it's been worked. So that would be stainless. I like strike designs that have this return back feature to them. And the reason I do is because it, in my experience, it allows the latch bolt to evacuate out of the hole in the strike more smoothly when it's got this smooth surface to pull across and against, making the operation of the lock therefore smoother because the latch is able to come back into the housing when you rotate the trim. Most manufacturers don't feature that, is the bottom line. That, of course, is there to help to make sure that your deadlocking feature does not fall into the hole as well. Now, this is a typical 4 7/8 strike, and what that means is hollow metal frames. It's 4 7/8 tall. And strikes in hollow metal frames are 4 7/8 tall for a reason. If you've ever studied cylindrical locks and mortise locks, you'll know that the center line of a cylindrical lock and the strike plate, there's no adjustment for relocation. There is if you're measuring on the door and frame because of that 1/8 of an inch prep in the top. That 1/8 of an inch margin between the top of the door and the underside of the header. But when you have mortise locks, they kick that center line down 3/8 of an inch. And the reason they do so, this is obviously for a cylindrical lock because it has a single prep in the center of the strike. If it was for a mortise lock, it would be biased 3/8 lower. The reason they bias it 3/8 lower is if you have a deadbolt function, they leave you room to have that deadbolt prep up above your latch prep. Okay, so great for the hollow metal industry because there's one strike prep and you can put cylindrical locks or mortise locks. Strike's going to fit the same either way. 4 7/8 tall. Now it's about 1 7/8 wide, but that's not how strikes are measured. They're measured from the center line of the screw hole to the edge of the lip, and this is about 1 5/16. That's going to be typical and common. 1 1/4, 1 3/16, 1 5/16, standard. It's like the Swiss Army knife of lip length, and that's what this is called. This would have an 1 15/16 lip length. You could very possibly need a shorter lip length if you had a pair of hollow metal doors that had a steel flat astragal welded to the pull side of the active and you had a cylindrical lock and you did not slot that astragal for the lip of the strike to come through. You're going to need to have a 7/8 lip length is what you need. Or conversely, let's say you had a 1 inch inset in your frame of your door inside of your frame. You need a longer lip length for that. So the 1 1/4 plus or minus is the generic size that's going to work. Speaking of generic size that's going to work, they're going to give you combination screws, wood or machine thread. This would be 1224. And you could install this into a wood frame, and some people do. If you were doing a hospital and you had 99% doors not wood, or I should say frames not wood, you might have a chapel or the office of a pastor, a religious figure. That frame might be wood. And for continuity, you might be running 4 7/8 strikes on everything, and you would specify a 4 7/8 strike for that wood frame, and it would work out just fine. Not common to put 4 7/8 on wood frames, but in that environment, I would say I would expect that to be what you would get there. Okay. Some supporting documentation's down below. Let's switch to the screen view and take a look. Okay, so this is the item that we are here indeed looking at, our strike. It's not really shown in the exploded views other than down here. Not sure what this errant link is. We'll get that fixed up. Cylindrical, E Plex lock cylindrical parts list. Let's take a look. Let's scroll through 10 pages. So we're looking at part 36 quite clearly. Let's scroll down to where 36 is going to come in. 36 is on the 5th page of the document. ASA strikes, different finishes. T strikes, that'd be a 2 3/4 tall strike if you needed that. You could specify it. The reason this document's important is because, well, if you're looking for parts for this lock, you've come to the right document. Here it is. Latch bolts, probably the most common item that we sell for these locks, naturally. But ultimately, it's all common. I don't see anything here super common, but exterior active trim, like a replacement lever. Tail pieces are common as well. The item also has additional documentation here, installation instructions for an E Plex 5000 lock. Then, the link to the manufacturer's page, as seen here, is going to allow you to review not only all of the KABA Access products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as this area is the repository of all of the encyclopedic documents as it pertains to this manufacturer. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Certainly not uncommon to replace a strike plate or need a strike plate. This client actually ordered the hardware package, the strike plate, and the inside escutcheon and trim, so there may have been some vandalism, a break-in. Maybe the lock was taken off the door to paint the door and some of it got thrown out. Luckily, it seems like the business end of the lock was salvaged. So who knows why? Who knows why? But here it is. Any questions on the KABA Ilco 20411926D01 4 7/8 strike and a satin chrome finish, or any other KABA Access, KABA Ilco, KABA Dorma, Dorma KABA, company, and all of her sister companies, Stanley, Best, on and on and on. Feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.